Your intermediate piano students are ready for four-note chords, but are you ready to teach them in a way that actually sticks? If you're teaching intermediate piano players and you've been struggling to make four-note chords interesting, this video is for you. Today, I'm sharing 11 proven strategies that will transform how your students hear, play, read, and even write four-note chords. And by the end of this video, you'll have a complete toolkit of activities that turn technical challenges into musical discoveries. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Rosemarie. I've been teaching for over 20 years and composing imaginative educational piano music for nearly as long here at Must Love Music. And I've discovered that the secret to successful four-note chord instruction isn't about drilling theory. It's about making these concepts come alive through engaging activities. If this is helpful, please consider subscribing. You aren't going to want to miss our next videos. Let's be honest. Four-note chords can feel overwhelming for intermediate level students. They're stretching their hands further than ever before, they're trying to coordinate more fingers simultaneously, and they're often struggling to hear the harmonic differences. There's just a lot going on. But here's what I've learned. When we approach four-note chords as technical exercises, we miss the musical magic. Instead, we need to position them as tools for expression. So let me play an excerpt from Fields of Reverie so you can hear these concepts in action. Fields of Reverie was specifically designed with these four-note chord concepts in mind, making it perfect for students to practice everything we'll explore. You can find the sheet music either in the description below or the QR code here. Your students can also dive deeper into this piece with yesterday's companion learner video that walks them through the four-note chords that are found in this piece and in general in intermediate level music. First, let's develop your students' ears. Start with a simple triad, then introduce these four-note chord types systematically. I would begin with doubled note triads, something like E major with an extra E, because they're the easiest stepping stone. Students can immediately hear the fuller sound without the complexity of new harmonic relationships. Next, introduce those seventh chords gradually. Major seventh chords can sound warm and jazzy. Minor sevenths can feel smooth and mellow, while dominant sevenths create that wonderful tension that wants to resolve. And don't forget sixth chords. They're bright and open, and they're giving students another color for their musical palette. And when I'm talking about sixth chords, what I'm talking about is it could be the first, third, fifth, and sixth of the chord. They're gorgeous, trust me. Second thing to do is focus on the mood. Play the same chord progression using different four-note chord types, and then ask your student to describe what they hear. How does changing from, say, a major seventh to a minor seventh affect the emotional character? This develops their musical vocabulary alongside their harmonic understanding. And of course, an oldie but a goodie, ear training. Start with just 2 different note chord types and see if students can distinguish between them. I always struggled with this concept myself. Granted, we didn't do a lot of ear training in my lessons unless it was kind of closer to exam time, you might relate. But I've learned that with my students, the best approach is starting with just 2 chords and then building over many, many lessons from there. Gradually add more chord types as their ears develop. And if you're wondering which ones to start off with, look at their music. It's a perfect transition and a perfect link between theory, ear training, and then their repertoire. Next, let's get students playing. Focus on those double note variations. You could, whether a song has 4-note chords or not, you could have students play a double note triad with the root and then get them to play it with a different double note each time until they've doubled all 3 notes of the chord. How does doubling the 3rd versus the 5th change the character? Try dividing notes between hands. Get students to divide the 4 notes between their hands, placing them anywhere on the piano. Sometimes you can get them to create really wide, ethereal sounds with notes spread across octaves. And other times, cluster them really closely for intensity. Talk about how range creates different sounds even with identical notes. And be sure to try this with all the inversions of those 4-note chords as well. And lastly, test different chord finger numbers. Have them test these different finger numbers on each note. I've discovered that when my students explore this independently, they typically move towards conventional chord finger numbers, and when they don't, they have a very compelling reason why. I've noticed this especially with my teen boys when they're going through their growth spurts. From week to week, it starts feeling like things are really squished, and so they naturally want to use different finger numbers. This builds body awareness and helps you understand what's comfortable for your student. Next, improvise over those chord progressions. Get students to improvise over a 4-note chord progression, ideally related to the music that they're learning. For extra fun, do this with both hands to continue building hand independence. You could have them doing in the same in root position or inversions in both hands. You could get them to do it like say in root position in one and an inversion in the other. There's lots of options here. What's your favorite way of helping students discover comfortable chord finger numbers? While I've found this approach really honors their individual hand structure while building confidence, I really want to hear your strategies as well. Teaching concepts like 4-note chords effectively requires more than just knowing the theory. It's about having pedagogically sound strategies and resources that create student engagement. That's exactly what I provide in my teacher newsletter. Easy to scan articles and videos with practical activities and strategies that are ready to implement right away. Plus educationally designed sheet music that students love to play. Teachers in my community also influence upcoming resources, ensuring that you get exactly what your studio needs. For access to these studio-proven teaching tools, check out the description below or scan this QR code to join the best piano email ever, because effective teaching deserves exceptional support. So we've helped develop our students' ears, we've done some playing on the piano, and I bet you're thinking, when do we start reading the music? Now. This is when we're going to start reading the music. So the first thing we're going to do is find those chord shapes. As always, find them in the music that your students are doing. I really stress chord shapes with my students, both on the sheet music and under their fingers. And I actually start with under their fingers first. It gets students to identify each chord shape so that they can categorize them. The benefit here of making sure you do this is that when they see it in the music, their hands will automatically move into the correct position. My students have seen me do this. Okay, maybe it's not a million times, but it's probably pretty close, where I will hold my hand up and I will do the hand shapes of the chords that are in their music so that they can see you don't have to be playing it, and it makes it a lot faster to play or to learn. Determine chord progressions. Have students determine what the chord progression is and analyze how the 4-note chords add to the basic harmonic structure. Now, this detective work helps them see the bigger musical picture. And here's some ideas that you can use to help your students work on writing 4-note chords. Write in their preferred chord finger numbers. So have students write in their preferred finger numbers after they've tested different options, just like we did in the playing activities. This reinforces their physical discoveries from the keyboard onto paper. Second, Compose with chord progressions. So for students who enjoy composition or improvisation, you can get them to write out chord progressions using the same pattern, whether it's broken or blocked, with the same or different rhythms. Now, obviously, if it's the same rhythms and it's the same whether it's broken or blocked, it will make it a lot faster. And then you can have them add a short melody over these chords. Now, a quick reminder that many students who struggle with traditional notation, so that would be pencil on paper, and this might be because of limited mobility or really a wide variety of reasons. These students may thrive with digital options like Note Flight, and there's lots of them out there. It might be that they're able to connect their piano to an online program, or it might be that you can do that and then fill it in for them. Lastly, make it all connect. For more inspiration, I'm going to suggest that your students can explore this concept in yesterday's Companion Learner video, where they're going to get some step-by-step guidance, making sure that you build the connection between your teaching and their independent practice strengthens their learning exponentially. Make that connection between the theory that you're talking about and what they're actually playing in the music really obvious. These 4-note chord activities do more than teach harmony. They build musical confidence from the inside out. When students can hear, play, read, and write 4-note chords throughout engaging activities like the ones I mentioned today, they develop the skills and mindset to make them truly independent piano players. Now, if you're ready to explore another concept that creates similar confidence breakthroughs, be sure to watch 14 Mixolydian activities that transform piano lessons for intermediate students. I'll show you how to make this intriguing mode accessible by building on the major and minor foundations that your students already have. Thanks, and happy teaching.